Hey there! Today we're making miniature apples. So, let's get started. First, you're going to have three colors, yellow, white, and translucent clay, and you're going to mix it into a ball. Then you're going to roll this ball out and into a semi-thin log, like so, and cut small chunks. These will be your apples. For the color, you can make whatever you want. I'd advise you just look at an ordinary apple and base it off of that. It's just kind of eyeballing here. So then you're going to take one of those chunks and roll it into a ball shape, or slightly ovaled, because, you know, apples are slightly ovaled. And you're going to do that for all of them. Then you're going to start refining their shapes so they're less clunky looking. Once you've done that, stick it on a needle or a sewing needle, things like that, and then you can start shaping the apple exactly how you want it. It's all the curves, the indent in the top. I used a ball tool for that. The part where the stem comes in, you can start using different size ball tools for that. Or you can just use the same one, whatever tentacles you have. Then I used a rubber, I think it's a rubber gum massager, I believe. You can find it at a Shoppers Drug Mart. And I started making the top of the apple. Now, for any apples you want to cut open, I just take my blade and cut slices. You want to be very careful with this because you can usually squish the apple, so you want to cut very carefully. And then I just placed the halves with the flat edges facing down so that they could get flattened and not, you know, curve. Refine their shape slightly. And then I take the rubber tool in and work on the top of the apple where the stem would go. Then I took a small toothbrush and textured the apples. This is a toothbrush that you can find at, you can just find it in maybe a dental shop or a Shoppers Drug Mart or something like that. Again, it's a toothbrush. You can find all sorts of this awesome stuff. Dental things are great for miniatures, by the way. But next I took this needle and I made the places where the seeds would go and a small line down the middle just to get that, where the core would be. And you can see here, I'm just making the little bottom part. Then you bake them in the oven, along with stems if you wanted to make those. And now we paint them. Cover the apple in a coating of yellow paint. Doesn't have to be too dark. It looks kind of dark right now on the camera, but I trust you, it will get lighter. Sorry for the bad. Now the focus is better. I often just use my fingers to kind of soften the color a bit and make it less vibrant. Now we're going to start adding paint. So using some reds, oranges, yellows, and a bit of green if you want some, you can mix the color you want for your apples. The paint should be somewhat watered down so that it gives it not a vibrant, like, solid look and more of an apple kind of look. Because the color on an apple isn't often... It's vibrant, but not, you know what I mean, but, like, it's not a solid color. It's kind of washed out. At least the apple I'm making right now is kind of washed out slightly. And it gives it that look if it's a little more uneven in color. And it's just also just easier to apply. Then I used some Fimo gloss varnish and covered the apple once the paint had dried. This gloss gives the apple a nice sheen, so it has like a nice gloss to it. Now I just made the inside part of the apple. For the apples that I cut open, I just covered in a bit of the yellow stuff. Yellow paint, not stuff. And then I painted it using some little darker yellow. I painted a little line down the middle and around the edges to look kind of like, you know, it'd been cut open and the core had been there and it was kind of starting to yellow a little bit. Then I took some dark brown paint and painted in the seeds. For this one, I made it less dark on one side, so that it would look like, you know, it'd been cut and one seed hadn't been cut through. Then I used the dark paint to make some highlighting around the edges, and you're done. I finished all the apples, glazed them, and put them on a plate using glue, obviously. Let me know if there are any miniatures you want to see me make, or any suggestions and things like that for videos in general. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.